I mean, but there's been a lot of kind of like game developers, and Notch was doing this kind of. What reminded me of this was like the programming language. Notch was developing a kind of a space exploration sandbox game, where he's developing his own programming language for it. And the game name was something like 0x10C or something like that. But he was writing his own programming language embedded into the game, and part of the gameplay was going to be learning this language to play. But obviously that never happened. But like, there's a lot of people kind of on board with it, interested in the game, watching it. Just because somebody famous, says they're going to be doing this thing, doesn't necessarily mean it, it actually happens.
Right, like that goes back to that thing, to that sentiment that we discuss a lot, is you never know how many games don't get made.
Right. Yeah, going back to what we talked about with Kickstarter and whatnot.
And that's especially potent for people that are just running off celebrity, in my opinion at least.
Right. I mean, there's been a lot of kind of examples of like a lot of kind of high profile people that have said, oh, we're gonna make this great game.
Yeah, one example that I can think of off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember this tile set. I haven't done this tile set in a really long time. Yeah. I got it.
Yep.
Hurry up. You are running out of time.
Got it.
I knew you would come. Thank you.
Aaron Hansen from Game Grumps, or also known as Ego Raptor. He had, as far as I know, there's probably more, but I know of at least 4 games that he was trying to make that never happened.
Right.
And he's not a famous game developer or anything. He's probably going to be, relying on his name to sell them.
Right.
And a lot of them didn't happen. One of them I know was a puzzle game that had some special row clearing mechanic in it, but he realized fundamentally that it didn't work because of just the nature of column-based puzzle games.
Right.
And it just ended up, because it supposedly was like you'd store up points and then spend them on like a mega row clear or something, but it was economically better to just ignore that altogether, so it defeated the whole point of the mechanic. So it's just like, so that game didn't work. So then he tried a Castlevania type game that he was making the artwork for, and that just didn't go anywhere. And so like he's this person that he's this obviously creative person that wants to make games, of some level, but
making games is not like playing games. There's actually a lot of sudden complexity to it that they got surprised with.
Right. And eventually, under the Game Grumps umbrella, he was able to finally make a game.
Yeah.
It was called Dream Daddy Dating Simulator.
Oh yeah, I remember that coming out.
Yeah.
A lot of people I knew that was like big into that.
And it was a surprise hit.
Right.
Back to Hydron.
Yeah, let me go swap back to Haldren.
Yeah, no problem. I have it on a loadout, so. So he got lucky in that sense where he finally got to get that game made.
Right.
But it took more than just him and the few programmers that he knew to make it happen. Because that's what he was trying to do with his earlier games, was he was going to make all the artwork, then he was going to get some programmer friends that he was going to hire a couple of his programmer friends to make the code and make the guts for the game.
Right.
And I think after so many non-start attempts, he just realized it's gonna take more.
Right.
So I speculate that he just kind of put it all on the side and waited until his current baby with Game Grumps got big enough where he could go, okay, I want to make this bigger now. I think we're big enough that we can get the right talent, get the right people, and make this thing happen.